tests for radiation levels along PNG's coastline.
At PAU, we are pushing research.
Mendi police encouraged to use words.
I don't believe someone's in weapon.
And powerlifters set new records in Pacific Games trials.
This is National EMTV News with Mary Bartolo.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for Sunday's news. Following the Fukushima nuclear explosion in Japan on March 2011, the possibility of radiation flowing into the Pacific Ocean in the last 4 years has been a worry. Through the Pacific Adventist University School of Science and Technology, radiation levels have been studied in some motu and coastal villages. The research is an integral part of the university's focus to do research aligned with Christian principles.
In March 2011, Japan suffered the worst nuclear catastrophe with triple reactor core meltdowns and exploded containment buildings at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The disaster was a stern warning about the dangers of depending on nuclear power. 4 years on, the dangers of high radiation levels present in our coastlines may be imminent. Thus, the Pacific Adventist University School of Science and Technology has undertaken a baseline research.
In the case, at PAU, we are pushing research in a number of very, very diverse areas. For example, we have one research project which is measuring the radiation levels in the Motuan waterways. In the future, for us to have a baseline that we can compare against to actually know when future events happen and be able to measure the impact.
Since the nuclear meltdown, scientists suspected that radiation from the 2011 meltdown would reach the United States. It was only a question of when. In May 2011, scientists tested seaweed samples from all along the U.S. West Coast for signs of ocean-borne radiation. While the tests came back negative, the findings provided a baseline with which future tests could be compared. This is exactly what PAU hopes to achieve in their research. Bridget Komatep, National EMTV News.
The National Fisheries Authority will continue to focus on coastal fisheries as a key priority this year. As well as addressing illegal, unregulated and unreported fishing in PNG waters, the NFA will continue to promote sustainable fisheries management. In an interview with EMTV, NFA Managing Director John Kasu highlighted the authority's plans and priorities for 2015.
Mr. Kasu says NFA will continue with its ongoing programs, especially the coastal fisheries, which cover most of NFA's priority areas. This year is also important because a 6-year ban on sea cucumber or beach de mer will expire at the end of the year. While the coastal provinces are anticipating the ban to be lifted, NFA is working towards having a plan ready by September this year.
We are taking a very precautionary approach to the opening of that fishery. We recognize that it's a very important fishery for our people, but at the same time it's NFA's responsibility to ensure that whatever resources or fisheries resources that we have are managed at a sustainable level.
Building infrastructure is another priority area for which NFA has been delivering in the coastal provinces. One of its latest projects is Medang Fish Market, which is set to begin construction this month. The Medang Fish Market project is a partnership between NFA and the Japanese government through the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. Also this year we'll see a new player in the tuna cannery business, bringing the total number of processing plants to 8 in the country. After this, NFA will stop and concentrate on managing the tuna resource.
The things that we're doing also is ensuring that, because you have the processing plant, you must make sure that the resource is there to sustain the plant. So we are working and ensuring that the resource is available for us to feed those plants.
Inland fishery is another ongoing program that NFA supports through the provincial development grants for fish farming in the highlands. Michelle Amba, National EMTV News.
The recent announcement of the National Executive Council's approval for a new memorandum of agreement for the Atacama gold mine has not gone down well with locals. People in the affected areas of Goilala say the MOA is a slap in the face as they claim they are victims of the mine's tailings. Similar concerns were also raised by Kairuku-Hiri MP Peter Isoaimo.
Kairuku-Hiri MP Peter Isoaimo also supported his claim that mine tailings have affected his people living along the Yangabanga River. In a recent interview, Mr. Isoaimo said legal actions will pursue if the Mekio chiefs and the council presidents pass a resolution.
This is a clear sign of genocide, you know? It goes to show that they want to wipe out the whole tribe of Mekio and the Roros living at the delta of this river system.
It is alleged that mine tailings from Tolokuma Gold Mine in Goilala district of Central Province has polluted nearby rivers. People living along these rivers claim that for almost 10 years now, they have been suffering with very little benefits. Two separate studies were carried out within this decade, one by the NGO Oxfam International and another by Dr. Sylvester Kotapu, which revealed that blood cells of people living along these rivers were contaminated. Recently, the NEC has given the green light for the revised Tolokuma Mine MOA, which Prime Minister Peter O'Neill says will be reviewed every 5 years. But this decision has not gone down well with the affected communities who have not been included in the MOA.
By Ogda man made stand side, there's a one I come down to Kundi, come down to Mekio on by benefit go through. But no development, no one service you go inside this now, next in Bagrab straight stuff.
Quinten Alomp, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have more news for you after the break. Welcome back to the news. Alleged gun-related killings in the country by police has raised questions in the past 4 months on the use of police-issued firearms. The police hierarchy is working to clamp down on this. However, little progress has been made. But Mendi Police Station Commander, Inspector Peter Buka, says police should not use guns but their mouths as weapons.
Inspector Buka believes using firearms in public places to deal with offenders or suspects will cause one to be responsible and answerable to the force and state. Buka said community policing and awareness in societies is an avenue policemen and women must consider in dealing with the public.
I don't believe so much in weapons. Yes, we do have problems, but when we use weapons, we are answerable on how we use the weapons.
Over the last 4 months, killings in Ley and Port Moresby has called for a string of swift investigations by the police to clarify police involved in the shootings. The public has also questioned the issuing of police ammunition and its use. But for police in Mendi, Inspector Buka is encouraging officers to engage the use of guns in high-risk situations with care.
Trouble fights, roadblocks, we go to high-risk areas, yes. In towns, ceremonies, public ceremonies, all this, I tell my people, no weapons. No.
Buka says police in Mendi are now closer to the people with the use of their mouth as weapons of engagement. Jack Lapave Jr., National EMTV News.
The 2017 national elections may be a few years away, but early awareness on the challenges people will face if corrupt leaders are elected is vital. Transparency International Chairman Lawrence Stevens says it's important people vote honest leaders. His comments follow the recent convictions of 3 parliamentarians.
The abuse of power has become a common occurrence in many government offices in Papua New Guinea. It may be through a dishonest act of failure to carry out designated responsibilities. Either way, both ends with similar consequences. But people are given a chance after every 5 years to decide who to represent them in Parliament. This chance is critical, and so is proper awareness beforehand.
We need to get around that and make people understand that if that's the mentality of the person who is standing, that's not the person you need.
Since 2014, a number of prominent public servants and local MPs were convicted of misusing public funds. The slow development progress in rural areas and non-existence of government services remains a result of corruption. And for years, many people in rural communities continue to seek government services in provincial towns. But the 2017 election is expected to see more awareness in the months leading up to the polling.
They don't vote for the person who arrives with pigs and Coca-Cola. They realise that that is wrong, and that as soon as a person starts to make gifts to people in order to get them to vote, that person is showing bad intentions.
TIPNG is now encouraging all citizens to report anything they feel is illegal to appropriate authorities to help minimize corruption in PNG. Takla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Bank South Pacific opened its new Lae Commercial Centre in downtown Lae City for its growing business customers in Morobe Province. The new state-of-the-art banking facility will serve customers with premium and paramount banking services. BSP CEO Robin Fleming says they are also looking at redeveloping the Top Town branch and establishing more rural banking facilities.
The state-of-the-art commercial center is situated at Markham Road in downtown Lae City, adding a landmark structure to the industrial hub. The new banking facility now has adequate parking space, ATM machines and more office space for client and customer service.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Morobe Governor Kelly Naru officiated at the opening, which was also witnessed by other Morobe leaders and the business community in Lae. BSP Chief Executive Officer Robin Fleming says this is part of BSP's commitment in providing convenient banking services to its growing customers in Lae.
And this is a great facility here. It is becoming a landmark in Lae, and more importantly, it reflects our confidence in the future of Lae and Morobe Province.
Mr. Fleming also outlines the bank's plan to redevelop the Top Town branch to alleviate the growing number of customers waiting to be served. He says BSP is also looking at setting up more rural outlets and bank agents. This is to cut down on cost of transportation and security into towns to do banking.
As much for public servants and teachers. If a teacher needs to cash his salary and we have a cash agent in the area close by to the school, then they don't have to spend time away from the school to come into town to get their cash, and to get people more attuned to using the card rather than cash.
As Lae City is expecting more development projects and business opportunities in the coming months, Bank South Pacific says it will continue to support small businesses and groups in Morobe. Sylvester Gawi, National EMTV News, Lae.
The neglected Kundi to Gewa Road is now getting the government's attention. The government is working in partnership with the Asian Development Bank to develop this road. Kundiawa Gembog MP Tobias Kulang describes the road as an economic corridor for Simbu Province.
A government delegation flew into the small town of Kundiawa to open the Kundiawa-Gewa Road, a road which received no attention even though it was identified as a national road. But the intervention of the Asian Development Bank and Go PNG funding has now seen the first stage of 10.6 kilometers complete at a cost of 30 million kina.
Kundi Road, 100,000 investment lo government, investment lo country. Loan any billion of give money not in.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said the government's high priority in the next 2.5 years is the island's highway and feeder road links.
This play here, but you may extend him not block contract lo finish him this the road he go lo gamble. This play here. We play now totok lo funding lo this road. Close to by you may go tender, lo finish road.
One bill, now talk no compensation. Fair compensation, yes, that's all. Unreasonable compensation by Noga.
Plans to connect Medang through the Gewa Road is also underway. This road access will open up Simbu Province and pave the way for other developments in growing Simbu's economy.
And we want to also partner you on 2 roads you identified, the Kerawagi Dona and Kewe Elimbari Mobi Ring Roads.
Cardno, Suncliffe and a local contractor have been contracted to work on this road. Jacob Harvey Jr., National EMTV News.
And that ends our news segment. Trukai Sports is up next. I'll bring you all our sporting action from today after this break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Day 3 of the Pacific Games weightlifting and powerlifting national selection trials ended today with a bang. In the 75 kilogram division, Linda Poulsen set a record in PNG, the Pacific and the Oceania region in all lifts. In the men's category, a rugby player turned powerlifter 27-year-old Vagi Henry lifted a massive 280 kilograms and 290 kilograms, setting a PNG national record.
Steady. Strong. Strong.
If Vagi keeps this up in the Pacific Games, this could just count as gold medals for PNG. Vagi Henry, a rookie to the sport of powerlifting, showed the judges he is a force to be reckoned with. Vagi lifted 280 kg, setting a national PNG record, and in deadlift, again, Vagi lifted 290 kilos, another PNG record. Among them, a veteran powerlifter, Kevin Combra, also making his presence known and getting a lot of cheer from the crowds. In the female 75 kilogram division, Linda Poulsen setting 3 straight records in all her lifts. Tahina Booth, who flew all the way from Sydney to attend these selection trials, also did not disappoint. She competed in over 85 kg superweight division and smashed her way through with clean lifts and finished first in her division.
I've got some dreams and aspirations with the weightlifting side, but with powerlifting, I've been doing it for about 10 months.
With all the results shown so far, PNG is looking to dominate the sport of weightlifting come the Pacific Games. Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
To the NSL now, and Lay City Dwellers ended their final home game for round 1 on a high note with a 2-1 victory over Admiralty FC in Lay. The Lay boys scored their first goal in the opening 10 minutes, with Admiralty equalizing in the second half. Poor opponent markings from the Admiralty backline saw Lay scoring the winning goal in the last 7 minutes of the game. Sylvester Gawi reports.
This was their last home game for round 1, and for the Lay City Dwellers, they were looking at winning in front of the home crowd. Raymond Gunemba sent in the opening goal in the first 10 minutes to put Lay in front with 1 point. Minor finishing errors from the Lay side saw the score remaining at 1-0 into halftime.
Plan is something straight. Me bla try to police ma throughout the week. First game me bla draw, come lose. But since game lo, medeng after lose la come all boys start pick up ECC. So plenty all boys like him experience. So time bla come on top as game go all pick him up momentum to play. So I'm giving plan nice result on us.
Admiralty FC, led by Moravian Agi Moses, came strong in the second half. They kept Lay's backline under pressure and scored the equalizer through a corner kick. Admiralty coach Peter Sakal says they need to work on improving in the midfield to play defensively.
We need to really organize from our midfield and play defensive formation from the midfield that can hold him team stop so that we can defend well.
The Lay City Dwellers scored a tiebreaker.
And we apologize for the technical error. Moving on, Morabet Table Tennis Association joined the Table Tennis National Championships for the first time this year. Morabet did well against the more experienced campaigners from NCD and Central Province. Dion Kombang has more.
Team Morabet showed interest in the table tennis sporting code after it was introduced in the 2014 6th PNG Games. And they've proved it, registering as Morabet Table Tennis Association and competing in this year's national championships here in Port Moresby.
Our players were very excited to get together, seeing that we have an association in place, which is called Lay Table Tennis Association. It actually formed when we had these PNG Games last year, Actually, it's a new organization.
Moorabet Table Tennis Association used the championships as exposure and opportunity for their competitors to compete against some of PNG's best. Although relatively new to the competition, Moorabet Table Tennis Association president is adamant several players have the chance for the upcoming Pacific Games. The national championships ended today with Tubusera and Hanuabara Table Tennis Associations dominating in each divisions. Dion Kombang, National EMTV Sports.
And that's all we have for Trukai Sports tonight. The weather details up next.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for tonight in the southern region, Port Moresby cloudy with showers and rain, Alatau and Popondetta showers then rain, evening rain for Kerama and late evening showers for Daru. To the Momasa region, Leh you can expect evening showers, late evening showers for Madang and brief showers for Wewak and Vanimo. Over to the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau showers then thunderstorms, brief showers for Kavieng, a few showers for Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka and a few showers for Kimbe. And finally, in the Highlands region, all centres, you can expect evening showers with morning fog. And ending our news, recapping our headlines, radiation levels tested along PNG's coastline, police in Mendi encouraged to use more words, and powerlifters set new records in Pacific Games trials. That has been the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 1st of March 2015. From the EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.